In my ranking of all the gods, go watch that video if you want, I said Aries was the worst god, and I got some flack for it. There are some Aries enjoyers who said I was wrong. Well, in the time since I've made that tier list, my opinions have changed about quite a few gods. Every time I go through a god's boon list, I usually think maybe I should have gone higher, maybe I should have gone lower, so maybe I just didn't have the experience with Aries, and maybe I should move him up. Maybe this video ends with me apologizing to a god that I put unfairly into C tier. But I don't want to spoil anything, so why don't you spoil yourself by spoiling me and checking out our Patreon. It's the best place to support the channel. Seriously, we kind of only get by here because we have support from the fans. If you wouldn't miss $1 every month, please give that dollar to us so that we can continue to make these great videos that you love so much. Check out Tulok the Cardbarian if you like Magic the Gathering. That's where we're doing the Magic the Gathering stuff. Tulok the Barbarian is where we're doing Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Tulok times where we're streaming live. We're not streaming live here anymore because I know that was annoying for some of you, so you know, you're welcome. And we're also streaming on Twitch, so go check out the Twitch. Anyway, let's get started with Aries' best boon. Starting off in S tier because boy howdy does our boy have an S tier boon. It's mutual destruction. When you're missing HP, the more HP you're missing, the more chance you have of doubling up your damage. That's fantastic. I would say on an average run, you should be ending somewhere around 250 or 300. So if you're missing 100 health, that's a 10% chance to double up on the basic rarity. That's pretty good, especially considering this doesn't count as a critical hit and can stack with other critical hits. If you like Rocky, if you're a Rocky enjoyer like me, I'm a Rocky enjoyer, that means that doubled up damage can also then crit again. These are kind of low percent chances, but hey, you know, whatever. Now, if you decide to get a dump truck's worth of HP, you know, hit the 500, 700 mark because you doubled up with Poseidon, because you met up with Aphrodite, because you met up with Circe, and they all decided to make your health bar huge, yeah, this is going to hit really hard. If you're missing like 200 HP, that's 20% at common rarity. You're missing 300 HP, that's 30% at common rarity. Just huge old chances for big old crits, you know, big old crits. And they're not crits. I don't know why I called them crits, because they're technically not, and they can still critically hit. So mutual destruction, fantastic boon. It gets even better with success rate. Fudge. Do I have to talk about success rate this early? No. Yes, this is a great boon that gets a lot better with success rate. It's not dependent on success rate. Did you hear me say that? This is already great, and it gets better when you get success rate. A tier, cut above. If you're hitting a lot of Omega attacks, which I like to hit Omega attacks on a lot of the weapons, cut above makes a falling blade, adds 5 extra mana to the cost of your Omega attacks, but if you're running a heavy Omega attack build, that extra 5 mana shouldn't be a whole lot, and you get a falling blade that does some more damage and it hits the enemy. That's pretty solid. Not every weapon has me wanting to hit those Omega attacks, so that keeps this out of S tier, but it's a pretty basic upgrade to just about any Omega attack, and I'm a torch enjoyer, so you know, I love torches, and the torches, they love the Omega attacks. Blades be dropping pretty fast when I'm playing with those torches. Grievous Blow. This won't show up unless you have wounds on your kit, and it makes wounds usable. Grievous Blow adds a doubled up damage chance to enemies you hit with wounds. It's really good when you have wounds on something that you can hit once, and then a good boon on your attack or special. This makes wounds good, but if you've only got wounds, it's still kind of stinky. I mean, like, this gets wounds to be comparable to other attack and special boons. We'll talk about wounds in a second. Don't worry. We'll talk about wounds in a second. It's just we're in A tier, you know? We're not talking about wounds here, other than this one, which makes wounds much better. It also goes hard with success rate. Success rate. Do you want Aries to be a viable god in your boon pool? Consider grabbing success rate. Just a reminder, if a boon needs success rate to be good, then it's not good on its own. This one's pretty good on its own, gets a lot better with success rate. It also gets a lot better with a different boon on your other attack or special. Whichever one didn't apply wounds, yeah, this one gets a lot better with that. And you shouldn't double up on statuses anyway. There's no point to do it. It doesn't help you activate your origination. So since this one needs wounds in your boon pool to show up, and it automatically makes wounds a lot better, yeah, that's an A tier. Speaking of A tier, what about some A1 beef for a meat? Grinder. Meat Grinder is the next one on here. It makes a big spinning blade with your Omega Cast. I'm not an Omega Cast enjoyer, but I know there are some of you out there, and this makes your Omega Cast do a little bit of damage every second after it's done. It lasts 4 seconds and hits every 1 second, so max damage, if you grab it heroic, would be 240, and then obviously you can upgrade that as it goes. Pretty solid. If you're into Omega Casts, probably better to just get the Poseidon one, since that's one big boom. But I'm trying, have you considered I'm trying to find Aries boons that I don't think are so goddamn mid? Meat Grinder, sure. A tier. It's time for B tier, baby, and here we got Rallying Cry. Rallying Cry gives you a 50% extra Olympian bonus damage when you got 8 rocks. That's very solid when you have 8 rocks. It's just that getting 8 rocks can be kind of tricky, and therefore sometimes this can show up when you're at like 6 rocks or 5 rocks. You don't get more rocks, and if you don't get your rocks off, Rallying Cry ain't all that helpful. If you do get your rocks off, it's quite good. Focusing on rocks, I would say, God, if I were to like judge the elements, that'd be a weird video to make because there'd only be 4 things to put on the tier list. But I'd probably say rocks are third. Would I say rocks are third best? After, there's somewhere in there. The elements are pretty balanced. I don't think the rocks are necessarily bad, but I definitely think they're 3 or 4. So I think they're kind of bad, I guess. I don't know, y'all. If you're getting Rallying Cry, it's probably because you got a lot of Aries boons in your pool. And he's the rock man. He's got nothing but rocks. So you're probably going to get that. And you'll get your rocks off, and you'll do a lot more damage. And hopefully you'll feel better about everything else you're doing because you're playing an Aries run. And I need help when I'm doing that. I need something to make me feel good. Maybe Rallying Cry will get me there. Sanguinary Saver. It's the legendary. I haven't included the legendaries in the previous mono god runs, and people thought I forgot them. No, you forgot that I already ranked them in a whole video, and I didn't feel like doubling up, but hey, maybe you want a longer video while you're pooping, and maybe I can reassess whether or not a boon is good. And Sanguinary Saver only shows up when you have a bunch of blood. And if you have a bunch of blood, you have a bunch of plasma, Sanguinary Saver makes that blood and plasma good. I know that later in this video, when I say plasma is a stupid shit tier build to do, a lot of people are gonna say, well, once you get the legendary, it's quite good. Well, once you get the legendary, yeah, I sure hope it is. Zeus's lightning gets a lot better with Shocking Lust, but Zeus's lightning was already good. Aphrodite's weak gets a lot better with her legendary, but weak was already good. It didn't need help. It didn't make you do chores. And Sanguinary Saver finally takes the chores away, finally builds you up at a level where you actually start to feel it in each chamber instead of just, you know, getting like 18%. I don't know, y'all notice an 18%? Are you on drugs? Does the world move slower for you? Are you the Flash? Are you Barry Allen Flash? You would notice that. Good for you if you do. I think this rescues a shit tier build. So B tier, because thanks for the rescue, but my build's already bad because I'm doing shit tier stuff. And you're making shit tier stuff. Yeah, pretty good. B tier. B tier for blood. There's not a lot of blood in B tier. But hey, there's a little bit more. Profuse bleeding, I would say that's a B tier. It makes it so that when you hit people with wounds, they drop blood. And if you're going for a blood build, you want more blood. And if you got wounds, you need to get some more boons to make wounds good. Other curses in the game definitely have boons that upgrade them, but I think they each have 1 before you get to duo boons, some legendary boons. This one's got 2. I feel like that's the game kind of admitting wounds aren't very good, but we'll get to it when we talk about wounds, which we're not, because we're still in B tier. I guess I'll also put Visceral Impact in here. Again, I'm just trying to be charitable. This makes blood drop out when you kill something or when someone hits you. This is considered one of the 3 revenge boons in the game. It's a revenge boon because when they hit you, you drop blood you can pick up. Doesn't hurt the enemy. Aries is considered the revenge boon god. He's got the duo with Zeus that makes your revenge boons happen. His revenge boon doesn't do any damage, but in a big field of a bunch of enemies, this is actually a blood thing to make you feel blood in a standard room. If you got a bunch of zombies running around and each of them drops a bunch of blood and you've got success rate, keep saying the word if. You notice the word if showing up so much? If. I don't like Aries. I and I'm trying to give him a fair shake, and I'm trying to put him higher up. I'm going to be honest, all of these except Mutual Destruction, in my honest opinion, would be down a tier. I am being generous and buffing everything by an entire tier. So yeah, this one, Visceral Impact, B tier. Good stuff, but not really. Sword Ring, it's a cast. It makes blades fall. Blades, they get so good when you get 2 duo boons. When you get a duo boon with Apollo, when you get a duo boon with Hephaestus. Oh boy, I love blades when I get 2 duo boons. But it's a cast. I'm not a big cast enjoyer in general. And it does do damage. Doesn't activate Origination, but it does do damage. The damage is all right. When I've done cast heavy builds and I've had this as my cast, I don't hate it. I just don't think it's all that special, and I don't think blades are all that good to build around. But B tier. And now we get to be honest. Wound sucks. C tier. Vicious Strike. Vicious Flourish. Vicious is a generous word when you're doing less damage than Demeter does. Phil, you don't understand how wounds and power work. No, I do. You calc it out, and if you're using the Mel axe, the biggest, hardest hitting axe, you got a Demeter boon on that axe, which is the lowest percentile that still has a status effect. And you got Aries, who actually has the lowest percentile with a status effect because wounds is countered as a status effect. Wounds only adds more damage. It doesn't have the utility of freezing. Demeter still does more damage. And they can't move for 2 seconds. It's just supposed to do damage. And it isn't as good at doing damage as the lady who stops shit from moving. Compare it to Aphrodite, and that's just not fair, because Aphrodite doesn't activate Origination and Wounds does activate Origination. And if you get the duo boon with Zeus that makes revenge effects happen on Wounds, and if you upgrade your Wounds with the double damage chance, and if you upgrade it so that it's also spilling blood, and you get the thing that makes the blood come to you like it's draw in Kingdom Hearts 2, then actually Wounds are very good. But you know what's really good? Demeter, freezing things. Because you picked up 1 boon, boon, you get boon, and you do more damage, and things don't move. What are we doing here? Why are wounds so bad? Why can't you just take one of the secondary effects of wounds and just slap it on and then boost his percentages? Because he's the war man. So why isn't his war better? The only reason this isn't D tier is it is technically an upgrade, and it does technically activate Origination, and you can upgrade it, and then if you have the Aphrodite hit and you have the thing that maybe doubles damage on wounds, and if you maybe have success rate, again, I'm saying if so many times because he needs if. He craves if so much. And if is bad because there's other boons that are better that don't require anything and still are upgradable. You can upgrade Freeze by making it last longer. You can upgrade Bolts by making them do more damage when you hit with an Omega. You can upgrade Hitch by making it last longer and deal more damage. So I don't want to hear Wounds can get upgraded. They all can get upgraded. They all start off better than Wounds. C tier. Stabbing Rush sucks. It's a dash boon. Most dash boons are not good, but this dash boon doesn't activate Origination, and it puts damage behind you, which is stupid and harder to aim than damage going in front of you. I understand that you can line it up so that stuff gets hit by it. I'm not saying that you can't, and I'm not saying that you can't upgrade it with the duo boons with Apollo and Hephaestus. I'm not arguing with that. I'm saying that you are buying a house without a finished basement, a finished kitchen, a finished living room, or any finished bedrooms, and there's shit on the walls. And then down the street, Hera's got a 4-bedroom with a breakfast nook. A breakfast nook! Come on! Look what Hera's doing. I know. Guys, I'm going to put Nexus Rush into S tier. I understand I'm comparing the best dash in the game to the worst dash in the game. But I am, because this is the worst dash in the game, isn't it? What dash is worse? I dunked on Demeter. I dunked on Demeter for having a bad dash. But at least hers activates Origination. At least hers slows down projectiles. At least there's some utility there. This puts damage behind me. This makes me aim with my ass. This is literally ass aiming. And it's so bad. And it needs help from 2 other gods because Aries can't get anything done on his own. He has to call up his family every time he needs help and say, please make me viable. Apollo, I need you to make me viable. Trash. Blood Spree. More like bait spree, am I right? This heals you when you attack or special while you're below 40 health, and it heals you up to 40 health. Hey, Aries, the fuck, man? Do you know how much damage the late game bosses do? 40 is not enough. Keep in mind that you're healing up to 40 with each attack. So unless you're using something super fast, and you got a high rarity on this that's making you heal a lot of health, you're probably not getting all the way back up there. Or if you do, it's gonna take a minute and you're gonna get domed. This is the worst healing boon in the game. Self-healing is an elemental boon. You need 3 entire fire from Apollo to make that work. So, you know, I guess that is some work. And then there's the Apollo and Hestia duo boon that heals you when you dodge, and you have to have days to get that, which means you have a 20% dodge chance. And you can heal whenever, right? You don't have to heal at the ass end of your health bar. This only heals you at the ass end of your health bar when you're already fucked, so that you go up to 40 and you're fucking toast again. If you've turned up the damage with your fear, you can definitely get hit by 40 damage. You can definitely just get domed from 40, and all that healing was for naught. This sucks. This fucking sucks. I'm sorry. C tier, I guess, because it's technically better than nothing, but barely. It's breaking your leg and getting a band-aid from the school nurse while the bone's still sticking out. This sucks. But we're not done, and I'm cracking out the D tier for what I think is just one of the worst boons in the game. It's Grizzly Gain. It gives you blood. I know some of you like blood. Some of you think blood is good, but it's not good for mana recovery. This is a mana recovery boon. It doesn't do its job. If you do decide to run around and do all of the chores, picking up the blood, you get worse mana recovery than you do on Hestia. Hestia doesn't make you do any chores to get mana recovery. You just hit things and it comes back. This, with the percentage chances and the amount of mana you gain from when it drops off, if you go run and pick it up, is still worse. It's still worse. And if you're going for a full blood build, sure, you can pull Grizzly Gain out of D tier and shove it tight into your B hole. B for the B tier, of course. But if you need a legendary boon to put a D in your B, it's D. It's still D. Sometimes when you're fishing for legendary boons, and I'm sure this doesn't happen to any of you, it's never happened to any of you, you get all the required boons for the legendary boon, and it still doesn't show up on your run. And then you're just shit out of luck. You don't recover mana. Now, I guess this isn't as bad on runs where you're not using your mana, because I guess it's an extra effect and you weren't using your mana anyway. But like, if you're using the torches and you get Grizzly Gain, your run's fucked. Run's fucked. If you're trying to use Aspect of Momus and spraying down a layer of beautiful, beautiful staff specials and staff omega attacks, you're fucked. Your run's fucked. It just sucks shit. And I hate Grizzly Gain. I hate it when it shows up. I've gotten this shit to heroic. I've leveled it up with palms. It's still slow as shit, and it makes you do chores. It takes the worst part of Zeus's recovery, which is running to do a chore, and then it doesn't even get... At least Zeus fills you all the way up. At least Zeus fills that whole blue bar when you run and do your chores. This is like doing chores and being rewarded with like a hay penny. You get like a hay penny. Like you're the Animaniacs. You get a hay penny. Grizzly Gain sucks. But at the beginning of this video, I said that it might end with me apologizing to a god for putting them in the wrong tier. And that's kind of true. I think I actually want to apologize to Tulok. So, first, sorry Aries. I put you at tier too high. You belonged in D tier. You suck shit, dude. He sucks. He's the worst one. He's the worst one by far. I've tried to make him good. I've tried to understand what y'all enjoy about him. I hated it. I hate him. He sucks. He sucks. So bad. D tier. Mutual destruction. Rips. Is a great boon on a bad god. And I also want to apologize to Demeter, because I put her in C tier. I haven't played the game more. I've realized Demeter ain't all that bad. She's not all that great. Probably only put her up in B tier. Don't know that I'd put her up in A tier. But I want to apologize to Demeter for putting her in the same tier with this sack of shit. And I want to put this guy lower. I want to flush this turd down to D tier. Even though he only has one D tier boon, but remember, I rounded up everything because I didn't want people to be mad at me. Like, that's gonna stop it. I know you're all mad. It's fine. I hope you still had fun. You know, have fun getting mad at me. It's fine. I just think this guy sucks. I think this guy sucks. Yeah, pretty much every other god I've played, I've gotten to like them more. I guess Hestia is an exception, but like Aphrodite, Zeus, Hera, Apollo even, like I play them more. Demeter for sure. The more I play them, the more I think, you know what? This has some sauce. And anytime I get Aries, I'm like, okay, let's hard focus on Aries. Because Aries is apparently a boss you got to just hard focus on. Dude sucks. Dude sucks. I'm sorry, dude sucks. If you want to get mad at me, feel free to do it. That's what the comments are there for, but leave a like, you know? At least appreciate that I am here for you to yell at. Because what else would you do today if you didn't get into a flame war in the comment section, you know? What would you do? Maybe text a friend. Hey, if you want to get mad at me in the comments, you can go ahead and do that, but just text your friend after. Text one of your friends after. Ask them how they're doing. Ask if they want to get lunch or something, you know? How about that? Let's do that. Let's make that what we do when we get mad at people for videos they made on the internet. Let's text a friend and go get lunch. Join the Patreon if you want to support the channel. You can vote on the polls to see what tier list you want to see next. Aries won because, you know, everybody knows I fucking hate this guy. So obviously he got going pretty fast. Check out Tulok Dive. Check out Twitch. I'm playing live. You can come tell me that you agree with me. If you come to Twitch or Tulok Time, you have to tell me you agree with me. And yeah, that's about it. Tulok the Cardbearer. That's where the magic is. Bye.